So in case anybody's wondering, this is the video I posted with the coolant and oil separation that everybody, well not everybody, but quite a few people was shocked to see how oil and coolant separate, but some other people didn't even really think that that was real. So evidence, I guess. Oh, missed. Alright, so form the center. Alright, I think that's all of them. If I counted correctly, anyway. Alright. A little sketchy because how close I am to the side of the truck here. So I'm just looking for a good little spot I can pry up on without damaging the cover. A bit too hard to see back there. There we go. Sometimes these get stuck. I even have to loosen them all the way out. And you try to go to pull it out, and one or two of the threads are stuck in there. Dang, that's a tough old valve cover. Gasket. Broke off, so we're gonna have to replace it. Oh, there's a school bus. What time is it? Man, I got this almost perfect on time without even looking. That was just luck. All right, so what's left is I just have to pull this cover off, pull out the spark plugs, remove the head or the exhaust off of it, and then that's it. These take like a spline drive socket, the cylinder head bolts do. The first time I ever did one of these, I didn't know that, and I actually had to go to the store and spend like 80 bucks on a socket set. But I've used it maybe 100 times since then, so. Alright, let's get her positioned in time. So, because I'm a little bit too advanced on the intake side, I'm going to have to rotate it a couple revolutions and get it back to its TDC points. But what would make that easier is to pull those spark plugs out first. hell, there goes the school bus. This has been a problem all day of where I parked, but there ain't nowhere else to park. Move all my stuff again. It's gonna be a tight squeeze. I'm supposed to help on a truck. Good job, man. What happens when you're mobile and you work in random spots. Wouldn't that be nuts if y'all seen me accidentally bust one of these spark plugs because someone over tightened it or something? Come loose pretty easily. So it's easier to take the spark plugs out when you turn the motor because compression obviously in each cylinder. If you take the plugs out, there's no compression in them. So you'll just lose all that. Yeah, I might have to put my hoodie on, it's getting a little chilly. Just gonna loosen all these up to the point where I can probably just put my socket in there and twist them out. If y'all are commenting anything like that, I got the phone turned around so I can't see nothing. But I just more or less wanted to make this video because it seemed to shock a lot of people about oil and coolant when head gaskets go out. There's like 100 different types, man. If you're like driving home and your head gasket blows and your car starts to overheat and you're like, I ain't getting stuck here, and you just push it all the way home, your stuff's gonna be milky for sure. But this person actually, she just overheated at a stoplight, drove a little bit and it cooled down, but then it started to overheat again. So she pulled over and waited for a bit and it didn't cool off, and so she got picked up and then got the car towed. So she didn't even drive it. But even if she did drive it home from there, if it cooled down, I think it would be all right. I think it would still separate. But I've seen it, I've for sure seen it more milky than I have seen it separated. If it's separated, oh damn. Look how soaked that thing is in oil. Oh yeah, and that oil is gross. Come on. What the hell? Probably about time for a new spark plug socket. It's not sticking anymore. There it goes. Super oily though. Alright, let's rotate this bad boy. Once I get it all rotated and timed up correctly, I'll bring y'all over here and show you this side, just so you can see what I'm talking about. I can probably do it from right here for sure. Alright, so you'll see this chain turn. It's a bit hard for me, but I'm trying to do it from up here so y'all can see. Probably have to go 2 revolutions. I'll have to check the crankshaft. Hey, what's up, man? We might get lucky. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I heard something. That looks about right. Alright. I just gotta check the crankshaft side. And see, it's not even that. I had a lot of people say like, well, I bet since that coolant went in there, it's all clean. The coolant probably just went in through the head gasket side, didn't even come up here. She didn't even run it for that long. Because if she did, this would all have been soaked down, I bet. Can't say for certain, but... That's a Milwaukee for you. Alright, so you actually got to take out like oil pan bolts and all sorts of stuff to get this cover out. But I already did all that. I didn't want to bore you guys with that stuff. Alright, so, and again, like the valve cover, there's going to be pry points on the timing cover. You don't want to mess around and like, I've seen people wedge it up here and stuff. It's not good. You got to take your time with it, even if it takes a second. You gotta think, you gotta re-seal this once you're done. Alright, so you got the top right on, so let me get the bottom one. I'm actually gonna put on my hoodie. There's a bunch of kids playing down there, that's why I keep looking. Alright, cool. Should come off pretty easy now. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Come on! Someone clearly worked on this before. That's a lot of gasket maker. Alright. Here's the cover. That's a timing cover. So, a lot of times I see a lot of oil leaks from this seal right here. Little crankshaft seal. But this actually may have never been worked on because this black silicone gasket maker, I've seen that mainly come from factories, and they didn't like over glob it. Normally a lot of people that do it will just like douse it in it. This is pretty evenly distributed. All right. Let me check the crankshaft now that we got this off. All rocky down here. Yeah, we're right in time. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you guys. Wipe my hands off. Man, there's like probably 30 kids down there. Look at that entire neighborhood. Alright, so let's go ahead. Alright, so this is how you determine the top is in time. You see this dot right here? And then that dot. But more importantly, these are a little bit harder to see, but there's a line here and then there's a line here. These two need to line up as best as you can. But this one will always be a little bit higher than the intake side. I'm sorry guys, will always be a little bit higher than the exhaust side. So, but then to determine the crankshaft side, it's pretty messy. So that dot right there, that dot needs to be right at about 5, I would say. Exactly where it's at. It's a little bit harder to see like the position of it. Alright, so there's that. Now I can start taking the chain off. Then we can pull the camshafts out. Alright, cool. Alright, so now in order to get that off, this is the power steering reservoir. I don't want to take that completely out, because once that gets water or air in it, it's kind of a pain to bleed out. Alright, so we're going to use, looks like those are 10s. Normally they are, but alright, let's use a small. Sounds like someone's getting mad down there. Alright. Alright, there's that. Dang it. I might have to pop this hose off. Just zip tie it right quick. Get it out of my face so I don't get slapped with it. There we go. Washer fluid line. I ain't gonna get on that thing. It's too fragile. Just go ahead and put it here. And finish what we're doing here. Some pretty good room. I might be able to get my electric ratchet on it now that I got it broken loose. Here comes another. That's actually the owner's. Actually dropped a bolt. It just stayed in it. Here's the tensioner for it. These are kind of flipping pain when you try to reuse them. I had to reuse a bunch before. I'm trying to see if I have something I can show you. This might work. So, see how it stops? What you have to do is you have to lift this up. Yeah, just little by little. It's so silly. It's kind of a pain. I'm not going to do it right over the engine. Lose a bolt in there. See that? There's the oil going out. Yeah, and then, well, and if you want to reuse it, you have to put a pin in there and lock it, and then put it back and then bolt it in, and then pull the pin out so it can create its own tension. But I believe that we're replacing all this stuff, so hopefully. Now once I get that one of those guides off, the chain will be pretty loose. And in order to get the cover off, you got to take the compressor off, the power steering pump off. Which I was going to try to just move the power steering pump to the side, so I again didn't get any air in it and had to bleed it out, but I ended up having to completely remove it, so I'm going to have to bleed the system. But it's easier to get air out of the pump than the freaking reservoir. I feel like. Other people might disagree, but so what I do is I put all my, so like my timing cover bolts, I put all those in zip ties, or Ziploc bags, and then I'll label them. And then again with the timing components, I'll put all those together in Ziploc bags and see. So like these, even though this doesn't really matter, I like to be super specific. This came off of the right side, so I'll put like right side timing cover or timing guide bolts on it. And then on this side, I'll put left. The chain's about to come off. It's pretty cool when you see the chain come out. See that? Alright, so first, this is all plastic, so your chain, when it's being driven, this just slides up against it. Kind of is just like a wall, if you will. But all that's getting replaced. Did you guys see it move a little bit? So that was it. Actually, it just seating, because I probably had a little bit over advanced. All right, so, and then here's the left side. So this is what the guide, or the tensioner, I'm sorry, actually sits on. It pushes up against it, and this creates tension for the chain. So, and then the bolt that holds it in, it only kind of holds it from right here, and then it allows it to move back and forth. So when your timing chain is running revolutions, it, you know, can flex with it. All right, you guys ready to see that chain come off? Wiggle, wiggle. All right, look at that. So in our new chain, we'll have little timing marks that we can align all our stuff with. So this is pretty neat. We're almost done, guys. I left you all out of the boring stuff. I got all the boring stuff out of the way, and then I was like, all right, it's getting pretty cool, so I'll go ahead and invite everybody. All right, cool. I have probably like, my plan is with all these chains is to make a sign for the side of my trailer, like a Parker's Mobile Mechanic sign. And I just about got enough for sure. Alright, and since all our cam lobes are pretty neutral at this point, I can go ahead and take the camshafts out. This is the part where you really want to be specific and don't want to make any mistakes, because these, like all these caps, literally go with each lobe. So like this cap goes to this lobe. I don't know if you can see it, but they're stenciled on here. Like this one says E2, this one says E3, and it has an arrow pointing down. This one says I2, this one says E3, or I3, I'm sorry. So they're all super specific. So, but how I do it normally is when I'll loosen up this side, and then I'll go here, and then I'll go there, and I'll go here. But once I get them out, I'll just kind of like lay them, you know what I mean? I got my table right there, so I'll just lay them with each other. And then all this stuff is kind of just going to go back in the car. But he is going to, these camshafts are different. When I go to take this to get resurfaced, I need the camshafts with it, because these have little caps on the valve stems, and the caps get measured from the lobes of the camshaft. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, I think a kid's getting beat up down there. I heard, "I'm telling on you and you're gonna get in a lot of trouble." Alright, let me get my tin. This is the shittiest part. You always lose your pins. I didn't really want to use it short, but I use it short. Different. I need to go ahead and crack those loose real quick too, before I get that rear side loose. Alright, so those are probably 12. That's a 13. Here's a rim. When these get torqued down, these get torqued down to like 62 foot-pounds, and then these things get torqued down to like 10 inch-pounds. Alright, so we just gotta loosen up that rear side, and then we can go ahead. Oh, here comes another car. Move out of the way. Even though they have plenty of room, I feel like they're like, "I'm not gonna go when you're standing there." And it's fine, I don't blame them. I don't want to get hit. Alright, again, I'm not going to take these completely out, so I'm going to take them all the way down. I'm going to use this for that. Alright, this, again, looking for another freaking 10, but, you know, quarter. It's right here. It's right here on the ratchet. On other vehicles, you wouldn't want to loosen the camshaft like this. This vehicle you can, because it's not all the valves are pretty neutral at this point. Oh, it's a long 12. I don't want to look for another 12. Alright, so what I'm going to do with these, because like I said, I got to take these with me. I'm going to set these on the tailgate in a nice little spot I made. this is all one piece, so this can come out. So on these motors, the left side, the exhaust side, oh no, it looks like there's some, yeah, there's for sure some metal in there. You see that? That's no good. Yeah, he might need new camshafts. Let's flip this sucker. Oh yeah, look at that. It's all right there. Well, these are little sleeves. He can probably get away with changing these. The resurfacing shop that I'm going to take it to will be able to let me know all that. But man, that sucks. Man, the temperature's going down. This oil is terrible. Alright, we're almost there. Alright, out with this one. So you guys see these caps? That's how they measure the lobes, is with the caps. So those caps that I took off are super specific. Jeez, man, there's some metal over here too. Look at that. I've done enough of these to know that that's not good. Alright, out with you. Let's see how you look. I mean, all the lobes look alright. I just see that metal. But I mean, they could look alright, and then you can run a fingernail on them and be like, boom. Found a scratch. So, but in order to take this out, I gotta pop that little sleeve off. And put that little socket in there. That thing is cold, man. It's getting chilly out here. Alright, alrighty. Make sure it's clean. Get no debris in there. Alright, so that's what I was talking about. Only one side has it. The other side don't. But now, I can get in there and crack all those suckers loose. And then, here's another car. And then we can, then you guys get to see what a bad head gasket looks like. Smell like cigarettes. Alright. I do believe it's this one. Oh, maybe smaller. Smaller. Another car. bit of a pickle. Let's see. Hey, if my phone dies, guys, that's my apologies. If it does, I'll plug it in. Ah, finally. Now I just gotta get the socket that fits this sucker and pull these head bolts out.